Video is going to show you how to work on floor 6. So if you recall, floor 6 are your symbols. So you've got two symbols from two different characters. And so this will happen underneath the fan casting. So here's what you're going to do first. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your two symbols and you're going to combine it into one image. So I don't know what tool you used to create your symbols, but what you're going to have to do is combine it into one file. Now, the way that I did it was that I made one symbol here, and then I made this other one right here, and then I just put them together and screenshotted it together. I put it on like a Google Doc and then just screenshotted it together. So ultimately, I ended up with this. So make sure you've got both of your symbols combined. So if you need to pause the video to do that, go ahead and do that. Once you have your symbols combined, well, then it's pretty straightforward. What you're going to need to do is the same thing as what we've done before. And so let's go over here. So I'm working on my symbols and I'm going to go to my style.css and I'm going to, just as we've done before, upload my file. Okay. You're going to find where that file is. Now, if you're working on your symbols on your iPad, you did all your work on your iPad, and now you're importing this into Replit, you could import it from within your iPad, obviously opening up Replit. Otherwise, if you want to email it to yourself and then download it to the laptop that you're working on, whatever you want to do. So let me find my symbols here. Let's see, here we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and import that, and I'm going to rename it as I've always done. Gun and chain. Okay, and now let's see what needs to be done in my index.html and my style.css. So I'm going to floor 6, and my index.html just has my floor symbols, and then you can go ahead and put in your explanations here if you want to copy and paste them. You can put those in here. Again, HTML is for your content. So now I'm going to go to my style.css, find floor 6. Okay, and so here is my background image. So I'll go ahead and put in quotation marks, and I'm going to put in gun and chain. Okay, and I'm going to refresh it. In fact, I'm going to refresh it on the larger screen because it's a little bit harder to see. And I did my same mistake here, gun and chain.png. All right, let's try that one more time. Gun and chain.png will hopefully show your gun and chain. Now, one thing I noticed on some of the code is that, like, if you see, like, you can't see the entire width of the picture. So when you have situations where your images aren't showing up right or whatever, I would go to the resource that I have on Canvas where it says W3 Schools, and you can look up, some different things of what you can do with images on W3 Schools. So right over here, W3 Schools will take you to this page. And if you look at CSS and things for your images, right? So image gallery. So it'll help you there. You could just search width of image. Okay, so I can look and see some options that I can have and just play around with it. I noticed that on mine, all I needed to do was, I think it was background width. Let me just make sure. If I go here and background width 100%, and then make sure you've got your semicolon at the end. And let's see if that fixed it. Nope, that did not. I thought I had it somewhere. Let's see if I have it somewhere else. Oh, background size. There it is. So again, it's just one of these things, like, you got to either look it up I Googled that one and found it later. Okay, so now that I change it to background size, voila, it both fits in there. Okay, couple things that you can change on here. On this floor, you can change the height of your panel. And again, with your parallax image, if I needed to make it bigger, I can make it a little bit bigger if I wanted that panel to show up. Now my symbols show up kind of like right in the center, which is kind of a cool effect there. The other thing that I could change, if I wanted to change the text color specifically for this, let's see, fonts. Okay, so I could change the font size. Again, folks, use your dev tool, your inspector element. So I'm going to inspect and see when I go right here. Now it's a little bit tricky because this is kind of stretched. So span floor 6, right? So floor 6, here's where I can adjust things. And so if I wanted to change the color, again, to something in my color palette, like I could go ahead and change it to something in my color palette, like pretend this was in my color palette. And if I refreshed it, okay, so now there's my colors changed. I'm going to change that back. I could change the size. The letter spacing is kind of that look of that spacing in between the letters. So if I wanted to decrease that, if I wanted to increase the font size, and again, when you look at the padding is the amount of space around the content. So the content in this case is the text. Tons of things that you could change. Again, use your inspector element to find out what you want to change. If you don't understand something, look it up on W3 Schools. Or again, as I showed you before in another video, if you just put this into ChatGPT and ask what it says or what it means, that can help you as well.